I mean, I see your products everywhere when I've been going into
Really?
Yeah. I mean, how much, I guess, what's sort of the market penetration that you guys have?
That's the really hard to measure in Oklahoma, because in Oklahoma, one, we've had so many customers go out of business. We've sold to over 300 dispensaries. But at any given time, we sell to 50 to 75. But it's like a number that's changing. I won't put all the blame on my retail partners, but they're under a lot of stress because they don't get a lot of customers like they used to. But they will switch their vendors left and right. Okay. I mean, you have to be in front of them, which is part of being a good salesman, be always ready for the reorder. But when you have a certain amount of customers, you know who they are, it's very easy to be right back in front of them ready to get that reorder. When now you've spread yourself thin all over the state because the transaction sizes have dwindled. So instead of one sales rep servicing this dozen customers in this area, that sales rep is now servicing, right, multiply it and multiply the zip codes and the geography, and then with constraints on wholesale prices, it makes running the business more expensive than ever and logistically more difficult than ever. Okay.
So how are you guys doing?
We are like a lot of people, really waiting to see what happens with 820. We're going to be here no matter what. If 820 passes, it's great for the industry. If 820 doesn't pass, we hope that a lot of people that have been holding out throw in the towel, and that's kind of what the entire industry is doing right now.
Okay. You mentioned that you banded together with some other groups to hire a lobbyist, right? Why is that? What's of concern right now in terms of what might happen at the Capitol?
It's multifold. The primary objective is to implement 820 as smoothly, efficiently as possible so that it benefits existing legal, ethical businesses. We don't want any hiccups like you saw with 788, where it passed and there was no regulatory plan going forward. So that is our number one priority, is to be prepared for 820 and not working retroactively, but working proactively. Okay. That's the number one concern. Number two is that even though we've been doing this for 4 years, and we've been doing this for like 16 or 18 quarters, I mean, as far as business cycles, it feels like I've been doing this for 10 years. All of us in the industry, because we've been through so many ups and downs, and this industry, it's been 100 miles an hour every day. So to us, we all have gray hair and we feel exhausted. We're starting to recognize, though, that the legislature, they have a genuine curiosity about cannabis. They genuinely want to participate in policy making. They don't know anything about it. Okay? And so, but they get a lot of people that yell and scream. Right. So what they do is they have to listen to their constituents. And if their constituents are the mob with pitchforks or the people who are yelling, screaming, they respond to that and they pass out bills. So we need to do a better job of having a presence at the Capitol and help guiding them to passing just what would be good governance and good policy that addresses some of the concerns, but it comes from an experienced, educated point of view, because a lot of them don't know anything about cannabis. Mm-hmm. And so you'll see all kinds of wacky bills and the whole industry will have a knee-jerk reaction. Sure. And it's really just like, well, these are people that just don't know what they're even writing about. So who is that on? Well, that's on us to be responsible and to go assist them in that process. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's really a trade group that has broad membership that really kind of speaks for the industry. I don't know that much about it, but it seems like there's a few different ones that aren't necessarily in communication with each other.
So there's a group that the founders of 788, the original founders, they started, it's called the Oklahoma Cannabis Industry Association, OCIA, and Smokey Okies is a part of that. The truth is that none of the members are paying dues. Everyone's broke and everyone's starving. And this industry is literally crumbling as we speak. And some of the people that have the loudest voices are some of the people that need to go. Okay? So people that are anti-metric and they're anti-anything. I mean, you have these different people that have these Facebook groups, and they just yell and scream about anything. Right. And those are the people that need to go. Those are the people that aren't a part of our organization, and we don't support them. And we're trying to pass good governance, good policy. We're not trying to create an oligopoly in Oklahoma. And we're not trying to create these arbitrage environments that you see in other states. We want to keep an open free market system, but we want better enforcement, and we want to equip the legislature and the regulatory bodies with the information they need to execute on those.
Okay. So how are you feeling about the prospects for 820 passing?
I'm very hopeful. I'm very positive about it. It polls at over 55%, anything I've ever seen.
Okay.
I really like the fact that it's going to be on the ballot solo with no other. Yeah, I think it's great. Because if you're going to vote that day, you're going to vote for one thing. You're not going to vote for other issues and other candidates. I mean, the only people on March 7th that are going to go vote are people that are voting for or against cannabis.
Right. So where is the passion on that divide, right?
Yeah.
That's who's going to show up, right?
Get out the vote is very important that week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I went out door knocking with the Yes on 820 people on Saturday morning, and they're not trying to persuade anyone. They're showing up at doors with people they are pretty certain are on their side, and trying to make sure they know to freaking show up on March 7th. So, which seems like the smart approach, right? It's all about who shows up.
That's right.
I can't imagine. I mean, I wonder if you polled people, how many people even know there's an election in 2 weeks?
Well, the 820 campaign, they definitely have their email base, and they definitely send out a lot of email reminders and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the news coverage is about to step up. And from what we've heard, the anti-820 campaigns are about to blast. So it's about to be in the public conversation pretty soon if it's not already.
Right.